Good morning, everyone. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start by presenting my screen because we have a lot of things to go over. I am recording this and I'm going to post it on the YouTube playlist, so you have a reference to this for all weekend. Okay. Shailin, can you unmute? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So a couple of things. First and foremost, today we have our first digital quiz. So I want to go over the expectations, and then I'm going to show you where to find the quiz and what the due date is. First and foremost, the emphasis of this quiz, or like what this quiz is testing you on, is applying the definitions, not the ability to memorize definitions, which means that it's important for you to know the definitions, but it's more important that you're able to use the definitions in order to explain or show the relationship between words. Additionally, if I have reason to believe that there's cheating, copying, or collaborating between students or with a student and their parent, the students will receive an automatic 0. It won't be a conversation. I will screenshot what looks like cheating or copying or collaborating. I will send it to people and to parents, as well as Mr. McCabe and Lisa and Ms. Monegro, and you will receive an automatic 0. So I just want to make that very clear from the beginning so that students understand that this is still a quiz. This isn't just classwork, and we are taking this seriously. Okay. I want to also show you where to find the quiz. So on our Google Classroom page, this is what you always open up to. You'll go to classwork, and then under the vocabulary section, you have a vocabulary quiz. If you notice, it's due tonight. It's not due tomorrow night, it's due tonight. So make sure this is the priority. If you go in here, you see already 3 people have turned it in, so it's not a very long quiz. Just make sure you've looked at the vocabulary list and you've done the vocabulary practice, which is going to be really helpful for you. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Do we have any questions? Please write in the chat if you've got questions. I'm also going to put the attendance sheet in one more time. All right, I'm going to keep moving then. If there are questions, write it in the chat and I will get to it as soon as I can. So in addition to the quiz, I want to talk about classwork. So for many students, the amount of classwork has been a little bit overwhelming. So I wanted to go through what your success criteria was for each type of assignment, because this weekend you have no homework except for getting caught up on the classwork that we've had for the past 2 weeks. I did hear that there is a chat, so I want to make sure. So Nate, the vocabulary practice is to help you study, not to be used when you were working on the quiz. That's a good question, though. Thank you for clarifying. So let's go through each type of assignment and what's expected of you. That way you know how to be successful this weekend. So for all of the Common Lit assignments, there are 5 Common Lit assignments. You need to make sure you've annotated. If you need help with this, I have a video specifically designed around helping you with annotations on the YouTube playlist. Then you need to answer the multiple choice questions and answer the short response. I noticed a lot of people weren't writing short responses with a claim that answers the question, 2 pieces of evidence, and sufficient analysis. Please make sure you're doing that. It will really help you and help me give you strong feedback. For lesson 1, you need to watch the video of me reading Nadia's hands on the YouTube playlist. You answer 2 questions about Nadia's hands, the book, and then you just create 2 identity mind maps, an internal one and an external one. On the lesson 1, I've provided an example of each. There are also some strong student examples from work that's already been turned in. I will link those on the Google Classroom so you can look at those as well. For the vocabulary practice. Now, I want to recognize my note here. If you have not completed this assignment, please prioritize it before taking the quiz. It will help you study, which is to the point that Nate asked his question. This is very similar. Please do the vocabulary practice before taking the quiz. In order to be successful for this assignment, you need to complete Freyr's boxes, which is the definition, the characteristics or facts, the examples, the non-examples. And then you need to write a clear, strong sentence using the words based on the definition that was provided. Now, I want to be clear with this because specifically for the word class, some students were using the word class as in English class or social studies class. The definition is talking about class as in socioeconomic class or like a status in a society. So make sure that you're using that word correctly in your practice. Okay, the final classwork success criteria is for lesson 3. You need to read the team players article. Then I recommend you take notes of the gists, the central idea, and unfamiliar words. Those notes will help you answer text-dependent questions in complete sentences. So just as we did in class, complete sentences are always mandatory. This is an English language arts class. You need to be practicing writing in full sentences. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Do we have any additional questions? So Nate, I'm not sure where you're getting that number, but there are less than 25 vocabulary. So if you have a question about how many questions there are on the vocab practice, you should email me. Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to keep moving through these slides so that we manage our time. We got 2 more slides left. So the grading plan. I've had a couple of emails about the grading expectations and what people's grades are in class. So I want to make this very clear. Grades are going to be based on completion. So every assignment, you will earn a completion grade. Then 1 assignment per week will be graded for accuracy. You won't know what this assignment will be, so try your best on all assignments. This is really important. The reason why I did it this way is because as we are all getting used to this online platform, I wanted to make sure I am giving people credit for doing the work. But then we also need to make sure that our grades accurately reflect what our skills are. So I need to have an accuracy component. We're going to start with 1 assignment per week, and then we're going to change that as we need to throughout the rest of the school year, depending on what happens with digital learning. But as of right now, it's going to be 1 assignment per week, and you will not know what assignment that is. So make sure you're trying your best on all assignments. As for the timeline, some students were asking me what their grade is. Right now, I don't know because I have tons of grading I need to do because I've been touching base with people and making sure they were all on the internet platforms that they needed to be on. So students will hopefully, I put in this word because I'm a human and things happen, but hopefully students will receive grades in PowerSchool by the end of day on Monday for the past 2 weeks, which means that you'll have 2 weeks worth of completion grades and 2 grades based on accuracy. Okay. Any questions about that? Jayla, if you don't find this helpful, then you can get working on work. I'm going to share the attendance sheet again. Liz Mary, yes. What's your question? Liz Mary, you're on mute. Oh, are you chatting? Okay. So Liz Mary, I'll add you to the attendance sheet. I'll take care of it. I'll do it right now. So, Mary. Andrew Durling, I'm going to move you over to the spots where you should be. Remember, it's hard for people to sign in when you are your mouse is taking up a spot like all these gray ones. Put your name in and then leave the sheet. That way other people know where they can put their names. All right, I heard another. Okay, you're welcome, Liz Mary. So I'm going to go through this last video slide. So for revisions, I recommend waiting to see what assignments I grade for accuracy, but before doing revisions. If you want to do revisions for every single assignment, by all means, be my guest. However, that's a lot of work, and I want to be respectful of your time, especially because I know that you have a lot of work in all your other classes. So just wait until I decide what grade for accuracy and then use the revision form in order to do revisions. Do not return in work. Otherwise, I'm going to lose track of it and I won't be able to give you credit. So I'm going to show you where that revision form is. It's right under the resources tab in the Google Classroom. You click on it and then there's a form that looks like this. And you'll fill this out, okay? So I'm going to pause there and I'm going to stop my recording for a minute and then I'll restart it.